Hello, everybody. My name is Zoran Kачич. I'm from Croatia, and today I will give you a presentation about a training process of young goalkeepers. First, I would like to welcome everyone and wish you all the best at this specific time. I hope you are all well and that this short presentation will be useful for you. For me, this is a great honor to have the opportunity to share with you part of my sports experience and tell you a short story about training of young goalkeepers. I thank the members of the TWPC and the development committee who made such a presentation possible at times when we could not have direct contact. I believe that this type of presentation can also contribute a lot of the development of a particular sport, especially our water polo, as the oldest team Olympic sport. Any action that supports development, quality, and popularity is valuable and deserves special attention. This is exactly what our water polo needs. So I would like to thank once again the entire team of the organizers of these lectures and sessions. Maybe some of you know me. I spent many years in water polo, started my sports career as 10-year-old as a goalkeeper. I have participated in all the biggest competition in the world, both as an active athlete and as a coach. My work in a sport was focused on the goalkeeper training process. I wanted to help head coaches work with goalkeepers, especially because the role of goalkeepers in the water polo is very important. And very often, individual work with goalkeepers would be neglected. Croatia and ex-Yugoslavia had excellent goalkeepers in history. Among them are the best in the world, and this is a tradition, and this tradition continues. That was also the reason why I decided to write a book about the goalkeepers and explain the complete training process, starting from the basic exercise to the exercise of cooperation between goalkeepers and the players. The book has been translated into English and will soon be available in Portuguese and will be published in Brazil. And just only one information. I have also one very nice news regarding the goalkeepers. My good friend and water polo colleague, Tomáš Lasić, ex-goalkeeper, who translated my book, Goalkeeper in Water Polo, wrote a book on a similar topic, The Love of the Goalkeeping, which talk generally about the goalkeeper's personality, his role, and specific. It will be soon published in Australia. The second book talks about the work plan of the young category in water polo, and one part also refers to the work with goalkeepers of all age category. Both books complement each other and form one whole, and if you need some information, they are available on the internet. Okay, we can start at the next slide. I try to explain the role and importance of a goalkeeper. Sometimes all people say there is, and maybe I believe that there is a true that good goalkeepers is worth half of the team in apostrophe, of course. Coaches' tactical idea are based on the ability of the goalkeeper, particularly in zone defense. For example, or some aspects of it when we decided to play to partial zone and leaving the weaker player to shoot or something similar. The success of the entire team depends upon goalkeeper's ability. In modern goalkeeping, as a role not separate, but highly integrated with the team. Previous, I said, there is in modern water polo cooperation between goalkeeper and defenders. With the development of the game, goalkeepers become the first attacker. And also in our region, in Croatia, Serbia, and Montenegro, professionally organized clubs have specialized goalkeeping coaches who work with goalkeepers. This is why the goalkeeper receives special treatment relative to his effect and the role in the game. That is very important. And now we will start to talk about choosing a goalkeeper. We use the goalkeeper are selected among the children of water polo school at age between 10 and 12 years. Testing and noticing motor ability on dry land, first on dry land, and during any basic games or sport, we can assess children's coordination, mobility, flexibility, reaction, speed, and their talent for the team game. This would be the first and starting criteria for selecting a goalkeeper. Another criteria is also very important. The potential goalkeeping candidates must satisfy the second criteria based on their current height and the forecast of maximum height at the end of their growth. The formula is height equal current height multiply 100 cross age coefficient. On the next slide, you can see the table with some coefficient and very simple one example. For example, we are making selection among boys 10 years old, and we wish they reach 190 centimeters or arm reach 195 as adults. We have to select only these who are at least 148 centimeters tall. After that, we are going in the swimming pool. The next slide. For determination of the third criteria, we move to the pool where we test the children's buoyancy and the children's ability to implement, that is, try to remember to implement the breaststroke kicking technique, from which they develop the essence of every technical element of goalkeeping in water polo, the egg beater kick. The last criteria is a coach's judgment in how well are the children gifted with the goalkeeping intuition, and whether the goalkeeping movements are coordinated and tuned to rest of the team. We have a practice, and I know that later in the older category, some goalkeeper become a leader in the team, and that is also very important. Psychometric tests are desirable in the later stage on training process in order to establish, for example, concentration and temperamental characteristics. Once I talked with one my very good colleague, water polo colleague and professor, and he said me the most desirable temperament for goalkeeper is sanguine. That is mean like strong, lively, high-spirited, and etc. In Croatia, in Croatia, we have a system for younger category. Also, it's very, very similar in Serbia and Montenegro in our region. That means that we have 4 younger category. First is young cadets, age under 13 and under. Cadets, age 14 and others. Younger junior, age 16 and under. And junior, age 18 and under. Each category has a goal. The goal of younger cadets is to continue work on basic technique of swimming and water polo elements with the ball and without the ball, focusing on the individual tactics, and master the basic of the collective water polo game. We recommend 2 competing teams in this age, because we want more children in that age group. What needs to be determined the choice of the goalkeeper? Analysis of previous tests emphasized psychomotor performance, reaction speed, morphology, flexibility. It's very important, very, very important, proper water polo egg beater, good coordination and complementary movement of legs, arm and torso at the jump will help us in that. And finally, we will add what is the most important at this age, and that is the boy's desire to be a goalkeeper. On the next slide, considering that the good goalie selection was made, goalie in this category need to use. This is just a few examples. Many explanation of each exercise and many other exercises I explained on my book, but unfortunately now we haven't enough time. For example, goalkeeper exercise without the ball. Water polo egg beater and basic position, of course low and high position, basic position with a side movement, slide, walking, all kinds, that is mean walking on left side, right side, forward, jumps in every direction, combination of walking exercise, short slide and jump. Also, I recommend the goalkeeper exercise with the ball. First, we need to process the types of blocking exercise. There are 3 ways of blocking, as you know, very elementary: catching the ball, amortization, and ball rebounding, with hands, head, or body. Then process the basic exercise, basic position and a direct shot on the goalie, the basic position and a shot to the side, basic position and shots from the man up position. Next slide, we can see only a few pictures, exercise without the ball. For example, egg beater with a vertical kickboard, basic position, walking with lifts, or lateral movement, side jump, left, right, high or low, upward straight jump. And also we have some example or some pictures, exercise with the ball, amortization, that is mean with 2 hands dropping the ball down, deflecting the ball to the corner, shot to the side, vertical position and intervention at the ball. That is just a basic exercise for young cadets, and now we will start to explain some exercise for cadets. As I said, the goal of this group is completely masters the fundamentals of water polo techniques and tactics. With correction during the training, it's necessary to remove bad habits and mistakes. Also, we recommend to have two separate teams. And in this age, the coach will, based on the testing performance, select players and distribute them to the relevant position within the team. I have also some suggestions for some exercise. This is some new exercise because they are cadets, age 14 and other. For example, exercise in pairs with resistance and some exercise with ball. Exercise in pairs with resistance, try to do some basic position with pushing, basic position with pushing down, walking with pushing down, arm and leg strength exercise in pairs. But with ball, basic position with the shot to the goalie, basic position and the low shot, basic position and a penalty shot, basic position, side slider and a shot to be to the side, and basic position and shot from an upper position. On next side, we can see some pictures. As I said, this is just only a few example exercise in pairs with resistance, basic position with pressure on shoulders, water polo egg beater position, walking with lips and downward pressing, simultaneous arms and legs strengthening exercise. Next slide, talk about exercise with the ball. I have one notice. I forgot to say you. This exercise, before we start this exercise, I recommend try to prepare to goalkeeper. Try to talk with them. The coach must be on the edge of the swimming pool with several balls, and every time before some exercise, he try to explain how to do correctly that exercise. And during the exercise, it's very easy to correct some mistakes. On this slide, you can see some exercise for longer range lob, close range lob, stopping a penalty shoot, lateral glide, and a shot to the side, semi-vertical position, and intervention at the ball. Let me to explain very, very short. First pictures. Intervent on the long range lob is very difficult and very complex for young goalkeepers. But if we start in this age, we have a chance to correct many mistakes and to get a very good automatism. That intervention demands a whole coordination between arms, body, and legs. With one hand, the goalkeepers must have support, with another has intervent on the ball. Using some exercise, stopping a penalty shoot, we can practice some shoot and how to stop skip shoot. And some exercise with lateral glide and a shot to the side for me, personally for me, is a very, very important exercise. Why? We know that we are in the water. We are slowly. A distance between two posts, there are 3 meters. And the goalkeeper is too slowly regarding the ball. And I suggest to do some compromise. In this age, it's enough to do short glide, maximum 1 meter, stay in base position, prepare yourself, and intervene on the side. That is mean that the goalkeeper will be very fast, ready for the shot, and in that situation, simply the goalkeeper has a chance to save the ball. Also, we will try to implement many times semi-vertical position and intervention of ball, because that is a part of intervention with man down. That is a short story about cadets. Younger juniors age, next slide. Younger junior age 16 and under. The objective of this group is to perform the selection by the player's position and to continue with the work on the basic elements on the water polo technique and the tactics, directly affecting to the efficiency of the game, like coverage, stealing the ball, block, start block, counter attack, shoot realization with the extra player and opposite defender with man less. Maybe you know that we have some positive water polo element and some negative. Of course, we try to improve some positive element. Also, there is suggestion that this age group will be composed of the ages with 2 separate teams. And what is very, very important in this category, the mistakes in selecting players can be reduced to minimum, because we will not neglect prospective children of currently weaker biological and psychological development. They must have the equal treatment like others. Of course, this is just one notice. We know with the successful blocks or saves by the goalkeeper, we directly reduce the efficiency of the opposing team and increase the efficiency of our team. Because we have a counter attack, we have a new attack and a chance to score them. That is a reason why we like that the goalkeeper practice the defenses and ways of blocking from various situations that are part of the game. In addition to the specific goalkeeper training, it is necessary to handle basic ball blocking exercise, especially exercise in the goal, between the posts, of course, without the ball and with the ball. Why? In this exercise, the goalkeeper gets a sense of space between the post, body position, and mode of intervention. On next slide, you can see some goal exercise without and with the ball. For example, middle position, short glide, side jump, and middle position, middle range shot, lob shot from the side, shots from outside the extra man position. Once I try to repeat why is very important to moving of goalkeeper or goalkeepers. Also, there is one reason. For example, when the players receive ball from one side to another side, and if the goalkeeper did a short lateral movement and stay in base position, if he's ready for intervention, at the moment, maybe shooters will a little wait, maybe working 1 or 2 times, and after that he will decide to shoot or direct a goal or maybe return to the ball. That is an ideal situation for 1 to 2 seconds that the goalkeeper adjusts position, and that is a reason very important why I suggest that always try to practice very short lateral movement. Next slide, you can see some schematic diagram or some shooting schemes. For example, there are many combinations. This is just for example, 3 groups, 3 position shooting. Then for right group, middle group, left group. That is important that there are many balls at the moment, that the goalkeeper always active without stop 2-3 minutes, and the shoot must be very intensive for right, middle, and left position. And that is also very good for practice movement step by step from right to middle to left, and from left to the right position. Also, you can compose a static shooting with probably zone perimeter. That is a part of a real game. Also, like another exercise, shooting from an extra man position, shooting from an extra man setup 4-2. And you can make some similar exercise. That is also very important that goalkeeper follow the basic rules, and I hope that will be after everything okay. Next slide, we will talk about the last category, about juniors, age 18 and other. The aim of all this competition category is to fully master technical, tactical elements of water polo game, make definite player position and selection for the further work with the senior team. Each position of the players requires a certain development of anthropological characteristics. As you know, the players can be divided into basic groups, light players and heavy players. In the group of light players are goalies, flats or drivers, wings, and heavy players are guards and centers. Next slide, we will show you, you can see maybe one very interesting diagram. If we want to compare some players using anthropological characteristics like body height, coordination, precision, speed, explosive strength, absolute strength, repetitive strength, aerobic capacity, anaerobic and aerobic capacity. And you can see that the goalie for the speed has the highest grades. Also, it's very important, we said before, body height and explosive strength. During the practice, we continue to implement and expand specific goalkeeping training, in addition to some exercise without pushing, exercise in pairs with pushing, exercise rate of, and exercise of a jump and block on the ball, exercise between the post with and without the ball. We introduced a new exercise, rubber cord exercise with a medicine ball, exercise jump and block on the ball with a rubber cord, shooting exercise from a previous chapter with and without the block. And also implement one new element that is a final, implement elements block with one hand. And we can practice shoot over the block from the swimming and position shooting over the block. You can see some exercise without the ball, like water polo 8-meter push, start and jumps, jumps with downward hip pressing, mirror jumps, walking with medicine ball, jump with jelly rubber. I think that is for reaction is very interesting. The exercise mirror jumps. What is mean? We have two goalkeepers. They are opposite on each other. One is a leader, and one try to follow and to imitate him. For example, the leader will jump maybe 8 to 10 jumps, and another goalkeeper try to follow him. Also, we can make some combination, for example, walking with medicine ball, and after the walking, we can move and jump on the left, right position, up, down. Next, exercises. There are also some examples, but with the ball, and we can do some jumps with the weight belt and intervention of the ball. I suggest in this age that is enough to use a weight belt with 4 kilo. Also, we have some exercise with jelly rubber, jump and intervention at the ball, intervention at the shot from the middle position, and some shooting for 2-meter position for center forward position, like backhand, scoop, and something similar. This schematic diagram or some shooting schemes, you can see that for this exercise we need a few defenders. They will try to simulate and try to protect them some corner, left and right corner of goalkeepers. For example, we can organize shooting past a block in 2 or in 3 groups. With and without cross pass. We try to simulate a real situation, sometimes without pass, sometimes with cross pass. That is very important that we use several exercises. And also shooting past a block in regular attacking setup 6 on 6, or shooting from extra man set up 4-2. The next slide also is very similar. As I said, we will try to simulate a real situation. For example, we can organize shooting in a situation when we play a combined defense system. The wings are in the press, and our 3 outside defender must be very active and try always to protect some corners of goalkeepers. System 4-2. System 4-2 extra man attack and a basic blocking position. Maybe you can see we prefer the mirror block. That is a type of most frequently blocking shots by defenders. That is mean that a defender block a right hand shot with his left arm. For example, if the shooter is a right hand, the defender uses a left hand to protect some corner. And now, I try to explain. This is just one example, one table of periodical and training cycle plan in Croatia. Very short. We have, as I said, a system for all young category. 1 year we divided on the two macrocycle, sorry. For example, the first macrocycle is from September to March, and second from March to the middle of the summer. And every macrocycle we can divide it on two parts, preparation period and competition period. Preparation periods are also divided on the two periods, like basic preparation and specific preparation, and after preparation we will start competition. In Croatia there are 4 groups regarding the region in Croatia, 2 on the north, 2 on the south, and in each group there are between 4, 6 and 6 teams, and we start to play in the group in the system using the system robin round. When we finish, the 8th best team will go on the final, and before the final we have 4 weeks for regeneration and relaxation and prepare for the final. And after that, we have a final. For example, first competition has a name Croatian Cup, and second microcycle has a name that is a competition for Croatian Championship. The total each macrocycle is between 23 and 27 weeks, total about 120 to 150 trainings. Also, I can show you the last slide is the same. You can see like a block diagram, microcycles divided on 2 parts, preparation and competition period, and also you can see the intensity of each cycle. That is a very short story about goalkeepers in younger category. Thank you very much for your attention. As I said, that is a short presentation. And if you can, or if you want, you can contact me on my email address, zoran.katić@gmail.com. Thank you very much again. Okay. I got some question. First question, Tomasz Lasic. Hi, Tomasz, how are you? My very good friends and colleague. Every goalkeeper is different, slightly or vary in a build, height, temperament, development. Is there an ideal techniques to teach all? It's very difficult to answer, but simply we must to recognize that different and try to adapt some exercise using different temperament and using a different ability. Also, Philip McCallum has a question. What is the best way to coach blocking to the lob shot? As I said, that is very difficult to practice. I prefer type for blocking lob. As I explained, with one hand, one hand we will use to support and to keep the body outside of the water as possible, and with another hand try to touch the ball And also, with another hand, we will support and try to little move toward to opposite corner. Yanis, thank you, Yanis, for you. And I want to read message of the Yanis. Thanks, Zoran. Very interesting presentation. I have 3 questions. Do spend the time on the passing. Often the goal needs to pass long during the counter attack. Do you suggest exercising with other sports, example, table tennis or other? How do you prepare goalie from a psychological point of the view? The last question in my book, I explain. I think I try to see. I try to see the name of this chapter. Is pre-game remarks. That is one special chapter, how to prepare the goalkeeper before the match, because the goalkeeper has more responsibility, and sometimes he has a little stress, and sometimes he has pressure. And really, the coach, I suggest that the coach, if he can, try to talk with them before the goalkeeper, to encourage him and try to help him. Do spend the time on a passing. Yanis, maybe, I try to explain, maybe there is one trick for goalkeepers. I said we have to use short lateral glide. And when the shooter receives the ball, and when he sees that the goalkeeper is ready for intervention, he will little stop, try to bark or fake 1 or 2 times, and that is either situation that for maybe 1 second or a little more, that goalkeeper can adjust exactly on exact position and intervene on the jab on the side, and to protect them, maybe 1 meter and 20, 30 centimeters uncovered part of the goal. I have one video example, but at the moment I cannot show that video, but who knows, maybe next time. Do you suggest exercising with other sports, example, table tennis? Yes, of course, because we try to develop speed. I remember last year, one my older colleague in my time, he was the best goalkeeper, handball goalkeeper, and he wrote the book very, very similar like my book, and I talked with him and try to implement some exercise who has the same logic. Another question: do you have any tips of training of short keeper? Is the same. Is the same like the highest goalkeeper, but he has a handicap because he need maybe more 10 or maybe 20 centimeters in total arm reach, and that is very important. That the short keeper must do many exercises like egg beater, like walking, and to practice very high jump. Another question is the training for the men and the women goal is the same, or there is some difference between them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this question. Why? Because, sorry, I turn on the Skype because I have to read a question. Why? I can answer Last 2 years, I got invitation from China Water Polo Federation. Especially, my task was to work with the women's team. It was the first time in my life that I worked with the women's teams. I was very satisfied because I tried to implement the same and the same the same logic and the same exercise and the same rules, to implement the same rules, but with a reduced intensity. No so like men's. Don't worry, you can continue work with women's, but try to adapt load and intensity of the exercise. It's not necessary that they do like a man. I received another 2 questions. Philip asked, is it possible to test the goalkeeper's reaction time with saving the shoot? Yes, I think in modern techniques that is possible. We can do measurement. We can do measurement fast of ball and fast of reaction. And in my book, I think that, unfortunately, I wrote this book maybe, I don't know, 12 years ago. And I try to use some data. For example, I remember reaction speed, according to statistical data, a short and fast lateral jump should take between 0.25 and 0.23 of second, which correspond to the flight time of the ball shot from the common shooting distance between 5 and 7 meters. And also another question, Mr. Ahmed asked, is there any medical reason not use T-shirts in goalie practice? No. Unfortunately, I didn't show you pictures because really I try to implement some exercise with the T-shirts, but with the long sleeve. Try to remember, with long sleeve is my recommendation. That sleeves is not so heavy, but it's very important that the arms become a little bit stronger. And after some exercise with T-shirts in the water, of course, you can hair off and continue some exercise without the T-shirts. Thanks, After. This is the last question. Okay, this is the last question. Just a moment. That is the time. Thank you very much for your patience, for your attention. I hope that will be next opportunity, and I wish you all the best. Goodbye, everybody.